So we are going to discuss about how can many ways can do DML operations in Salesforce. So for that, what is DML operations? DML operations means data manipulations like inserting a record, updating a record, or deleting a record. So there are total of five types we can do the data manipulations. Using page layouts, we can do data manipulations. For that, let's check out a record in Salesforce, just creating a new record and updating a new one. So that can be done using page layouts. And another one is Apex. Apex is a pro object oriented programming language, so which we can update 10,000 records at a time. So it's a programming language for admin purposes. We don't use this Apex classes. First, just for information, I'm giving this info. So let's say how we can do DML operations in using page layouts. Let's go to the book object. So DML operation means inserting, updating, or deleting a data. New. You can insert a new record using this one. You can update the values, and you can even delete a record. This can be done by the page layouts. Okay. So suppose we are doing each record one by one. So suppose we have to insert a 10,000 records at a time. Or suppose we have to update a 10,000 records or a lakh of records at a time. So that happens, we can't do that in page layouts because we have to go to the each record and update the value or create a new record to enter all the values in this new fields. So that will be a time taking process and it is not efficient. So for that we have two inbuilt features that are provided by Salesforce. What is data import wizard, which is for this is used to import the details, and the name itself suggests that data import wizard. So using this we can insert the records or update the records, and for this there is some limitations in data import wizard. So we can do only 5 standard objects. Supports import the data in all custom objects, but it only supports 5 standard objects. Those are account, contact, lead, solution, and campaign manager. So by using import wizard we can process a 5,000 records at a time. Okay, max. So for that we have to put a CMLS file format. Okay, how we can go to this CML data import wizard. Go to the login to your Salesforce and click on setup. Search for data import wizard in the left column top. Find data import. So see, double click on data import wizard. So for that we need a CSV file, right? So I already have a CSV file ready in my system. So this is a book import wizard. This is the CSV file. So after double clicking on data import wizard. So see, you can see launch wizard button. Click on this launch wizard button. So as suggested, Salesforce in data import wizard supports only 5 objects: accounts, contacts, leads, solutions, and campaign. These are the standard 5 objects we can use to import. And custom objects, there are only 3 custom objects for now. So that's why it is only 3. So click on books. So I am inserting the book records. Click on add a new account. You can skip this part because normally we don't use this for any special purposes, like that means if you want to match a record by name. Suppose here we have name, you want to match the records by name. When the user field is designated as a recorded owner. So there are some, and apart from this is one thing, you should trigger workflow rules and processes for new or updating record. So what happens when you, there will be a automations that are defined when a new record is inserted or any record is updated, like workflows, and we can create a process and process builders. So that can be triggered you by checking this checkbox. So it's a self-explanatory. Trigger workflow rules processes when their criteria are met by input records. Okay, that's one thing. And then next use. So I want to put a file, CSV file. This is the CSV file. Book imports data. I have imported. So before that, let's see. We have only 16. To double check with that. So after inserting, you should change that count. So I'm just before only I'm giving the information about how many records we have. We have 16. So I have inserted my CSV file. Click on next. After that, you have to map the field. Suppose in the CSV header we have content, book, and right. So we have to map these headers with the fields in our object. So serial number is a why it is not available here. Serial number is auto number in book. Serial number is auto number field. For that I'll show open a book. See SR0100. It's auto number field. We don't have this edit button. And it's because it auto number field. It's a self generated field by Salesforce. So we can't give value to them. We can neglect that one. Next map content text. There'll be content text is here. Next one is book type. Book type is there. And next one is book type 2. Book type is also there. Country here. State other. There is no other field. Leave it. It's a lookup field. It is not showing the lookup here. Next what? Account. So we mapped it to account. State account. So next one is the price. Map the field. So we mapped all. We haven't mapped this author. Let's check for author. And okay, leave it. It's not a mandatory field. Now let's click on next. So we have totally 8 mapped fields and 2 unmapped. That is serial number and author. Click on start importing. Okay. So this is the batch process that generated for this importing result, and it is done. For that we have 16. I refresh the 16. Tab, books tab. Just wait for a couple of minutes. So we have total 9 records and one is header. So total 8. 16 records plus 18 we'll get 24. Okay. Okay, let's wait for some time. I'll check answer. So meanwhile we'll go to the data export. How we can do this data export? Data export means we are taking data from Salesforce to from like out of the Salesforce. Like we are generating a report and downloading that report in the same way. So it will support all standard and custom objects. It export record either manually. One we can schedule this one, and we can export multiple object records using data export. Further, click on setup. Go to the data export. Double click on data export. So there are two buttons: export now, scheduled report. So using these two buttons, we can do this export. Data export, let you prepare a copy of all the data in Salesforce. From this page, you can export process manual. So I already done an export. So let's schedule an export. You can export now in the same way. So we'll use export file equivalent. We should include the images, documents, or by clicking checkbox. We can do. We can have say whether we should have files or any content version documents that we can check here. So what is the frequency on the day of every first month? So from start date, when it's want to take it in a year, we just want to do for 1 month. Preferred start time, when you want to start that process, and objects. So for it, include all data, itself include all the objects data. Suppose you want a particular object, suppose asset, I want to get only asset records, cases, lead. After that, what I'll do, I'll select the specified object, click on save. Then this will generate a report every month on the first for this month. Okay, that's happened 34 24, and with 30, this started with April 30 and ends with uh, May 30. So I can change this by by year itself. I want to continue this till next year, till first. So that's why I can I want to make it happen at 2 a.m. So no one works at at the particular time. So it will, this process doesn't have comes to with our governor limits. So in that way we can export the data. So there will one more concept for DML in sales, that is the data loader. Data load is not inbuilt feature. You have to download the data loader into your local system because it's on-premise device. For using data loader, we can import and export in single feature. For export, we don't have to go to data export. For import, we don't have to go to data import. Everything will be done in data loader itself. We can do inset operation, update, delete, export all upload, hard delete, and everything can be done using data loader. And we can update actual maximum of 5 million records at a time. Import 5 million records at a time. So using this, if you want to do a bulk amount of records or insert a bulk amount, can we use this data loader? So in this way, we can check how DML, how many ways we can do DML operations in Salesforce. If you have any questions, please do comment. We'll check your comments and we'll give a reply regarding